Hello, welcome to another Friday artwork video. So this is the second of the conspiracy set. So this is Conspiracy Take the Crown. I didn't open an awful lot of cards for this. I will include any links that I find that are relevant to this set in the description. I can't guarantee that there's any sort of pack openings, anything like that, as I discovered when I did Conspiracy last week after I went to upload the video. I realised that I actually hadn't done any pack openings for Conspiracy, or at least none I could find, so I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if that's the same case with Conspiracy Take the Crown, but you know, you'll find out if you check in the description. So let's go through, and I'm just going to show you one of each of the cards that I pulled from boosters. We'll start off with the actual conspiracy cards themselves. So these were the ones that were the sort of lower numbered in the set, and they have that watermark on them. Again, we'll focus in on the artwork, but I will just slide past the card so you can get a rough idea what the card does. There's another one of these, you know, draft shenanigans things, I think. Well, actually, that's a good point. With this, I'm not sure. Anyway. Oh yeah, there is actually. I can see some cards here. They're sort of mixed in a bit more. So yeah, there were drafting shenanigans. It's funny with some of these binders, like particularly this conspiracy set. I don't know when I last looked at these cards. There's some interesting border stuff going on here. I don't know if you can notice it, but you see around the sides there. So you'll see with these as well, there's a number of like reminder things in here. So it's got start the game with this conspiracy face up in the command zone. And you can see them on these conspiracy cards, just like reminding you where to put these. And you can also see that some things say hidden agenda, some things say secret agenda, some don't make any mention of any agenda. The other thing with this is these, these double-sided tokens, which actually have the same thing on both sides. These were these monarch tokens. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, its controller becomes the monarch. And they look like that. I have a stack of these which must have been in the 16th slot of the set, and they're all just, yeah, same thing on both sides. Judging by the number, I'm assuming that refers to tokens. There must have been 12 tokens in the set, maybe. But if I'm wrong there, you can always just confirm that in the comments section if I've got that wrong. Right, moving on to the actual, well, the cards beyond those conspiracy cards, some of which and you can tell by the watermark, will have a sort of draft relevant rule. This one doesn't, but you'll see one in a moment. And also, you know, that was an indicator that something relevant to this format particularly was going on, was not only the presence of the watermark, and you can see here this actually references the draft round, but yeah, this fancy border business going around here. It's interesting as well how they sort of buried the cards in terms of the numbering in amongst the regular cards, so they didn't bother to sort of number them off in a certain, you know, within the, what is it, 221 cards, you know, say, okay, this from 1 to 12 is the conspiracy cards or whatever, and then from, you know, 13 or whatever the number was up beyond that, 13 up to, say, I don't know, 23 or 24, whatever, is the draft, the draft interactive cards. No, they just, you know, the conspiracy cards were the lower numbers, but then anything beyond that, they just mixed in the drafting matters in with the regular magic cards in terms of numbering. So, but they were just obviously in the right spot in terms of the particular place on the colour pie. You might see here there's references to the monarch as well, but they're not flagged up necessarily as being, you know, they don't have the special watermark on them, because that idea would exist outside of the this particular format. I have actually no idea how popular conspiracy was. It's, you know, interesting idea. You know, it's drafting, but ultimately you're drafting and creating a deck where you're going to be playing in a sort of all against all, you know, multiplayer format. Plus the fact that you have these certain cards in here which impact the drafting. There are also conspiracy cards which sit in the commander zone, and as such, you know, they're going to be affected by you know, their prevalence. Is obviously a variance in there based on whether or not they've been drafted and who drafted them and that sort of stuff. So and it's always interesting with, you know, when they start messing around with different formats, how concepts of like variance, you know, work for or against certain card designs, or, you know, designs of certain formats. So this is a foil. Got both versions here. So Messenger J's, and then we have the regular Messenger J's. These have a Council's dilemma on them. Okay, so moving into black cards here. I haven't really been keeping a track on where the rares are. That's a rare. Expropriate, which we saw previous to this in blue, was a mythic. And then one of the conspiracy cards was actually a mythic as well, which was the Hymn of the Wilds, and weight advantage was a rare, so the rarity did extend to the conspiracy cards as well. Which again, you know, this whole business of variance. Here you go, another draft related card there. Yeah, judging by how quickly we're going through the different colours relative to other videos I've done, there wasn't an awful lot of packs I opened for this. Yeah, some people found this card very appropriate. I think at some point I may well do, once I've exhausted the set musings where I'm going through the master set, what I might well do is go through these conspiracy sets. I'm not sure yet. I don't know how people feel about that, but that's something they want me to have a look at. I'm certainly thinking about going through some of the remastered stuff. If I haven't done it already, I don't think I have. There's the remastered sets in paper that might be worth a look. What I'll probably do is take a look at it and see if there were any interesting sort of draft archetypes, probably for these, for anything like that, where they're sort of smushing together things. suppose I could have counted the rares and you know, worked out basically roughly how many packs I may have opened by the number of rares and mythics that I've stumbled across. I think I mentioned we had a Custody, Leash was another rare, and Subterranean Tremors, the red one, we've already looked at. That was a mythic. And this is our next one. So I did open a Leovold. It's another mythic. And then also the rare here. Which is that. Okay, so there we have it. Let's look through, you know, what limited amount of cards I had for that particular set. Now again, obviously, a number of those are multiple copies, but that would be rather pointless going through multiple copies of the same card. But yeah, interesting to see what was in there and how they split that down. There wasn't many foils, was there? I think, was it just one, that Messenger Jays. So, thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.